Please Arizona. This week, our guests have dined all over the valley. At Taqueria El Chino in Phoenix, The Thumb in Scottsdale, and at Elements at Sanctuary Resort in Paradise Valley. Don't miss Check Please Arizona, tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Programs on Arizona PBS are funded in part by a gift from the estate of Winifred Gegg. For more information on how to include Arizona PBS in your estate plans, call 602-496-8888.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Hi, Michael Crow here, President of ASU. Everyone should know that lifelong learning is going to be an essential ingredient to you and your family's success. I'm really proud that Arizona PBS and Arizona State University are working together in every possible way to make certain that you, through the PBS network here and our station here, can have access to all that you need to move your family forward in terms of gaining access to learning over your entire lifetime. No matter what your age, no matter where you are, no matter where you're sitting, no matter what you're doing, we are here for you, and we're really excited about that.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
In a time of change, where can you find in-depth reporting and thoughtful analysis? Washington Week on PBS. Join moderator Robert Costa.
When I was at the Capitol this week, I encountered the same.
And a panel of award-winning journalists.
You're seeing a divided nation, and you're seeing
for insights and perspective.
Tonight there was a key development in the Senate.
You won't find anywhere else.
What a week.
Washington Week.
Friday night at 7 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Friendship Village Tempe, a retirement community for over 30 years, offers independent living with residency options, lifelong learning classes, as well as continuing care. Information at friendshipvillageaz.com.
I'm David Goldstein, owner of Biltmore Loan and Jewelry. We buy or loan on upscale assets. We have over 30 years of experience in determining values of automobiles, jewelry, art, collectibles, and antiques. For more information and appointments, biltmoreloan.com.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Stepping out of the box and into the political arena, how women are working together to break the government glass ceiling.
Fighting a drug crisis through technology, how an online data dashboard can provide an important resource for those struggling with the opioid epidemic.
Summer in Arizona, transformers blow and monsoon storms knock out power. Utility workers prepared to climb to keep you out of the dark.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Felipe Corral Jr.
And I'm Allison Snell. Thanks for joining us. The majority of public office positions are held by men. Just 25% of state legislators across the United States are women. But as Cronkite News reporter Jordan Daphnis shows us, Arizona is ahead of the game when it comes to equality.
Our state is tied with Vermont for having the most women state legislators, 40%. Today, more than 500 women gathered at the Phoenix Convention Center for the Arizona Women Leading Government Conference to learn how to increase those numbers.
We co-founded Arizona Women Leading Government specifically because there was a lack of women at executive levels of local government leadership.
According to a study from Rutgers University, just 23% of all statewide elected positions are held by women across the country. This group is hoping to change that.
The intent really is just to work on growing more women leaders in local government in Arizona and empowering them to go take that next step in their career.
Taking the next step in heels, these women showed up in large numbers to discuss subjects like the Me Too movement and Time's Up, and to learn more about leadership.
Leadership is really important. We're all today trying to accomplish on a national level diversity in the workplace and women in leadership roles.
Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams opened up the event and told attendees to save a seat for a sister.
When we get in positions of leadership, we have a responsibility to have the person sitting next to you be female also. And to Ed's point, she just can't be female for the sake of being female, right? She can be a female who is working her way through the process of being where you are sitting in a seat. And ladies and gentlemen, I really think we have that as a responsibility.
A responsibility that today's attendees are happy to take on.
I'm passionate because I feel that we are in a time that we are seeing a lot more women in leadership, and especially in government leadership. And I am excited to have the opportunity to work with them and network with them.
Now, the leaders of this event told me that they want to see more equal representation in their communities. For example, if a community has 50% women, they want to see 50% of women in office to represent that number. In the Phoenix Convention Center, Jordan Daphnis, Cronkite News.
Hundreds of deaths, thousands of overdoses, millions of pills. The numbers surrounding the state's opioid epidemic can be mind-numbing. But one company thinks it's found a way to take those numbers and more and use them in the fight against the epidemic. Danny Coble has a story from our Washington bureau.
It's 2018 and we're still talking about the opioid epidemic, but some companies want to use a different approach to combat the issue. That approach leans on technology. At a Capitol Hill demonstration today, SAP Software Solutions demonstrated how data gathered from multiple government reports can be presented in one easily accessible dashboard that shows just how big the opioid epidemic is.
And so this is a technology base, a data-driven technology base to help understand and find the root causes of some of these challenges that we have in the opioid domain.
That may sound simple until you consider all the data policymakers have to decipher. Everything from crime to preventive efforts, from the type of drugs being used to overprescribing, not to mention addiction and overdose numbers. The dashboard can put all of that into one place. The technology known as a purpose-driven framework launched about a month ago. While it is still targeted at the opioid epidemic, the company says it can be applied to any set of problems from homelessness to social services.
Framework can be applied to any problem, and it's about bringing the right technology platform to harness information in a new, powerful way.
Developers said it would be up to each state to determine how or if to use the software.
So Governor Ducey has a very strong position on this. We have talked with the governor at a very high level. We have not instituted anything with Arizona specifically, SAP that is, but I know the governor and his staff are actively working this issue.
Governor Ducey in January laid out a multi-point plan to address opioids, an epidemic that has led more than 1,300 deaths and more than 8,200 suspected overdoses since last June, according to the state health department. While the numbers are available to the public, this type of graph form is not, making it very difficult to go where you want to see the information. These graphs will make it simpler, which is why the company wants Congress to start investing in this type of technology. Reporting from Capitol Hill in Washington, Danny Coble, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is dedicated to covering the opioid crisis in Arizona and nationwide. You can watch our documentary, Hooked RX, From Prescription to Addiction, and find resources for getting help online at hookedrx.org.
Catholic bishops are criticizing the Trump administration's recent immigration policies. At the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, several religious leaders attacked new asylum rules as, quote, immoral. Tucson Bishop Edward Weisenberger spoke about families which are separated at the border. He suggested penalties for any Catholics who take part in the policy. Those penalties could range from withholding the sacrament of communion to excommunication. Immigration policies took center stage this morning at the National Hispanic Prayer Breakfast in Washington, D.C. President Trump did not attend. Vice President Mike Pence was the keynote speaker. Several lawmakers from both sides spoke about immigration.
I understand that yesterday many of you visited Capitol Hill to talk about these policies, and we respect and appreciate your voice and your engagement.
I've always believed that immigration is an area where America should find common bipartisan ground. After all, immigration is the whole history of America.
House Speaker Paul Ryan also spoke at the breakfast. He says there are a couple immigration bills that should be voted on next week.
A Valley soldier was recently killed while fighting against terrorism. He was just 26 years old. Cronkite News reporter Emily Richardson spoke with the young man's family.
Staff Sergeant Alexander Conrad was a Chandler native and died in Somalia last week. And while they have not shared any details because the event is still under investigation, today his brother remembered him.
The main message I would like to talk about today is my brother. He loved his family, he loved his friends, he loved the country, he loved the Army, and he was a hero.
Staff Sergeant Alexander Conrad's brother, Jacob Conrad, addressed the public today with memories of his brother, talking about their shared interests and competitiveness.
Whatever he did, I had to do, and I had to beat him at it. That was the main thing.
According to Jacob, Alex loved the work he was doing in the Army, and he was deployed 2 times before being sent to Somalia.
I got pictures of him petting a camel. I know they like the birds. They wanted to get a toucan to land on him, and we sent him Fruit Loops to try and see if we could lure one in. But last I heard, never did it.
Jacob says their family has been receiving messages telling them things about Alex that they didn't even know.
They were saying he was the funny guy in class, and he always did things to play jokes on his unit. He said that when he was in the office one time, he put a clear piece of tape across the doorway, and one of his coworkers walked right into it. And he'd just stand there and laugh.
Earlier today, Arizona Representative Andy Biggs honored Staff Sergeant Alexander Conrad on the House floor. Jacob Conrad says that his brother would want to be remembered as a hero. And while they appreciate the gifts the community has given them, they would prefer that people donate to the Pat Tillman Foundation. In the Broadcast Center, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
The Human Rights Campaign recently surveyed over 12,000 LGBTQ teens. The survey found that too many are bullied, rejected at home, and feel hopeless. Cronkite News reporter Amanda Mason spoke with a family that shows these kids need support and compassion.
My name is Juno Byer. I'm 18 years old and my pronouns are they and them.
Juno Byer came out freshman year of high school and identifies as non-binary, which means Juno doesn't identify with either gender. Juno still faces challenges and was not surprised by the survey statistics that show 24% of LGBTQ youth can definitely be themselves as an LGBTQ person at home.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen, the percentage of homeless youth. I've seen the percentage of kids who go through their every day at school hearing slurs thrown at them. I've seen every percentage of kid that doesn't have supportive parents or that gets kicked out. Every number on that sheet is a kid that I know that's been through that.
The survey also revealed that 70% of LGBTQ youth have been bullied at school because of their sexual orientation, and some report problems at home as well.
We have a few people who, close friends of mine who actually came out to their parents and were kicked out, who my mom and my dad took in and now have lived with us for about a year.
I mean, we probably have contact with 20 to 30 LGBTQ kids on a regular basis that are friends of Juno's and kids we know. And they struggle with those things. Juno's struggled with those things, names and pronouns at school, non-gender bathrooms, I mean, it's really prevalent and it's sad.
Parents play a big role in positive outcomes of youth. The survey reported only 25% of LGBTQ youth have families who show support for them by getting involved in the larger LGBTQ and ally community. One of those community allies is 1 in 10. Sebastian Henderson says the organization's community room brings them peace.
I went through a phase where I was really suicidal, like really suicidal. And partly it was because people didn't understand me and I didn't understand them. And I couldn't be myself around them, So when I come here, they, like I said, they understand me, so I can let go.
In Phoenix, Amanda Mason, Cronkite News.
3 out of 4 teenagers surveyed report recently feeling depressed. If you or someone you know is struggling, check out our website for resources at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Ahead on Cronkite News, the heat affects us all in the summer.
That includes the animals at the zoo. Up next, pouring water on the pachyderms, we get a look behind at how the animals beat the heat.
And later we go live in Los Angeles to take a look at one event that brings gaming fans together from around the globe.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland.
In Washington.
In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Begins tomorrow and will last for 3.5 months. Thunderstorms, high winds, or a wall of dirt can easily snap power poles, causing outages. Cronkite News reporter Nicole Hernandez received a hands-on lesson about what it takes to get the power back up.
APS says summer is their busiest season because of high power usage and destructive weather conditions, but they have a team of about 150 linemen ready 24/7 to keep power flowing in Phoenix.
As reliable as our system is, things do happen, and that's what we're there to fix it.
Things like high winds, lightning, and even loose umbrellas can disrupt the power. So APS spends months preparing for monsoon season.
We go through preparing how we can do things better, how we can better notify the public, gearing up for material-wise for storms that knock down poles, wires.
But they say there are some things you can do to help protect the power lines.
Securing your umbrellas. We've actually had quite a few of those blow up into our lines and cause outages. And on the safety side, if you ever do come across lines that are down from a monsoon, you want to make sure that you stay away from them. Call 911, call us, we'll come out and make sure that it's safe.
Now linemen make this look easy. They do it every day, but there are no rungs on the pole to help them climb. So they have these harnesses to keep them safe.
One thing to remember is when we do have these outages that our guys are working incredibly long hours in really hot conditions.
Last summer, there were 38,000 crew calls and 207 poles had to be replaced.
When we're talking about monsoons, it doesn't matter if it's brand new equipment or old equipment. I'm going to tell you what, if they're going to knock a line down, they're going to knock a line down.
APS wants to remind residents to be prepared for any outages by always having emergency food and water available. In Phoenix, Nicole Hernandez, Cronkite News.
The Arizona heat is always a summer burden for humans.
But what about the animals at the zoo? Coming up on Cronkite News, the steps taken each day to ensure animals at the zoo survive the summer heat.
The high for today is 108, but stay tuned because we do see some relief this weekend.
This is my last broadcast as the anchor man of the CBS Evening News, and that's the way it is.
Carrying on the baton of those who came before us, our superb team of journalists, writers, reporters, editors, producers work each and every week to tell the stories critical to you. For Arizona news that matters, tune into Cronkite News weeknights at 5 on Arizona PBS.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
By the year 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Before Professor Halden, I had an insane amount of passion, but I almost felt helpless because I didn't know how to use it. Professor Halden gave me a chance to make a difference. Being at a place like ASU allows you to take these big leaps. Ultimately, the biggest problems in the world cannot be solved alone.
The Navajo Nation is tightening up fire restrictions across the reservation. Tribal officials are planning a ceremony for next week to make offerings for rain. There are currently stage 2 restrictions across Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico's Navajo land. These restrictions mean that any kind of fire, including a charcoal or campfire, is prohibited. Smoking is banned, and ceremonial fires need a permit. Anyone branding livestock must make sure the area is clear of anything flammable.
With rising temperatures, everyone needs a way to stay out of the heat, even the animals at the Phoenix Zoo. Today, I saw how the zookeepers keep everyone cool.
We really specialize in animals that can tolerate the hotter temperatures here in Phoenix. It heats up in the summertime. That's nothing new for us. Our animals are used to it as well.
Animals get to cool down before it gets hot.
First thing in the morning, several exhibits will be watered down through a sprinkling system. Obviously, we always have lots of shade structures as well.
Each animal gets different treats that they enjoy during the summer. Asian elephants, just like Sheena back here, enjoy getting water sprayed on them so that they can keep their cool in the Arizona heat.
We'll hose them down a lot throughout the day if they're warm. We bring them inside and give them showers every day, and we also give them frozen treats like giant popsicles or frozen melons.
While the elephants enjoy their shower, tigers enjoy ice treats. From elephants and tortoises to monkeys and orangutans, everyone is included.
It's awesome to give them things like ice treats and stuff in the dead of summer because it's a reward just like it is a kid getting a popsicle in summer. It's awesome, it's refreshing, it's sweet, and it's something that's always wonderful for them to get. Probably made out of a bunch of different flavors of Gatorade. So the one that Michael is currently mowing down on looks like it is a little bit of lemon in the center, probably like a lemon Gatorade, a fruit punch on the end, and then grape on the other side.
The Phoenix Zoo encourages people to visit before the hottest parts of the day.
It's our slow season. We adjust our hours. We're only open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. We want our guests as well as our animals to be comfortable.
With the excessive heat warning over, what can we expect next?
Hannah DeRuiter is in our weather center with a look at the forecast for the next week.
It is currently partly cloudy and 107 degrees here in Phoenix. Now take a look at our temperatures statewide. Right now up north it is 76 in the Grand Canyon and Lake Havasu City 108. Down in Tucson we are hitting 104. Take a look at the highs for the southwest region of the day. Up in Denver, they hit 95 degrees. Down in El Paso, Texas, they hit 98 degrees. In California, San Francisco hit 69 degrees, and Los Angeles hit 74 degrees. In Arizona, we had a high of 108 here in Phoenix, which did beat out the rest of the Southwest for the hottest temperature of the day. Now, we are going to see some relief because Tropical Storm Ben is making its way up from Mexico and into Arizona, bringing us cool temperatures and some rain for the weekend. On Friday, we have a high of 92 degrees and some clouds. And on Saturday, get excited because we are hitting 90 degrees with some rain. But unfortunately, it does not continue because Sunday through Thursday, we see cloudy skies as temperatures do begin to rise. Now enjoy the next 2 days because we do not know when the cool temps will be back. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Hannah DeRuiter.
The world of video games has moved a long way from the living room couch.
Colleges offer gaming scholarships, and there's even a petition to get video games into the Olympics. Coming up on Cronkite News, the biggest event in the video game industry, how some Arizonans are hitting the right buttons at the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
I like
working for Cronkite News because it gives us the opportunity to find a different angle on the same stories that every other news outlet is covering across Arizona. As students, we have the opportunity to cover issues all across the state of Arizona.
It gives me a good chance to sharpen my skills, improve my skills, learn the techniques in a newsroom and in the programs and teamwork and technology, getting me prepared for the real world. And at the same time, I think we do a great job, make some great stories, do great journalism for the city of Phoenix and the state of Arizona.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. Join us each weekday at 5:30 and 10 as we bring you the top newsmakers who impact the state. We cover the stories in depth that shape and affect our local communities, and we take the time to ensure that all voices are equally heard. For more than 30 years, Arizona Horizon has been your voice and your source for what matters most, right here on Arizona PBS.
If you're looking for one show that tells you what happened that day in the world of business, it's NBR.
We saw a classic shipwreck.
Nordstrom's opening stores.
Triple-digit gains.
Crude climbs.
We're there to help our audience find new investment ideas.
The market still has room to go up.
Nightly Business Report is the longest-running business television program in history.
Weeknights at 10:30 on Arizona PBS.
The gaming industry has seen huge growth across the globe, and we're starting to see that impact here in Arizona.
This week, the biggest names in gaming and the global community got together in Los Angeles for a massive expo. Our reporter Cariño Haro was there at E3 and joins us live now from LA.
Gamers, developers, fans, and pretty much everyone else connected to the gaming industry is in Los Angeles this week for E3, an annual convention that gathers together gaming enthusiasts from around the globe. I caught up with esports marketing consultant John Pierce, who teaches the business of esports at ASU's the W.P. Carey School of Business, who use sports to help illustrate this massive scope of this event.
So imagine if the people who ran the NFL was here, the NBA, the Major League Baseball, college football, golf, rugby, swimming, every Olympic sport, wrestling, were all here, and they were talking about what they were doing with their game to grow their game, all in one place, all under one roof.
For years, E3 was only accessible to industry professionals, but upon opening to the general public 2 years ago, the event has seen a huge growth in attendance, making it one of the largest gaming conventions in the United States. This year is Tempe's gaming podcaster Josh Silverman's first time attending, and he thinks more people from Arizona should pay attention.
Arizona needs to get on that radar. We have a little bit of a gaming community, but we need to get on that because just to build up that industry and be interested in it, because it's the next wave of entertainment.
According to the Entertainment Software Association, who owns and operates E3, Arizona's gaming community includes 16 college programs and 75 gaming companies. Compare that to California, with its 889 companies and 77 college programs. Chandler gamer Renee McArdle said while the Arizona gaming community may be relatively small, it is close-knit.
Arizona has, the community is wonderful, and it brings people together. You know, just from this convention, I didn't realize how many people lived in Arizona that are here. It's huge, and it's like, you live right around the corner from me practically, and meeting other people from Mesa and Phoenix, and it's just expanding your own personal community too in your own neighborhood.
The event, which wraps up today, is expected to smash last year's attendance record of 68,400 people. Live from the Los Angeles Bureau, I'm Cariño Haro, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Coming up on Arizona Collectibles.
I don't think you could ever recreate this. It's a one of a kind.
President Gerald Ford owned this chair.
But look how beautiful it is. You are really lucky to own this piece.
Tonight at 7:30 on Arizona PBS.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Arizona PBS deeply appreciates every gift we receive, and we are proud to honor our Executive Society. These supporters believe in the mission of public television and are making a real impact in our community. If you would like to join the Executive Society, please call the number below or log on to azpbs.org to join. Thank you.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, President and CEO of PBS. We know that you have many choices on TV, and I just want to say thank you for choosing to watch Arizona PBS. In addition to offering the best of our national content, from the PBS NewsHour to PBS Kids, your station presents exceptional programs that focus on the issues important to your family and your community. As we look to the future, we promise that we will continue to offer content that educates, inspires, and entertains. Thank you so much for your support of Arizona PBS.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
She lives only for art and love, Tosca, a tempestuous, jealous diva. But how far will she go to save her lover from the lascivious Scarpia who wants her only for himself? Don't miss Sonia Yancheva, Vittorio Grigolo, and Željko Lucic in David McVicker's triumphant production of Puccini's opera thriller, Tosca, on great performances at the Met.
Friday night at 8 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Arizona Highways Magazine is for people who strive to enjoy and are inspired by Arizona's unique outdoor experience, rich history, and diverse culture. Subscription information at arizonahighways.com/PBS.
Like you, we get up and go to work every day. We're on the job, keeping you connected at home, at work, and to what matters most. Others count on you, so you can count on us. We're here restoring power quickly when storms hit, even fixing issues before they happen. We're making solar more reliable, investing in battery storage, and constantly updating the grid. We're here working 24/7, keeping Arizona on.
Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the monsoon officially begins tomorrow and a tropical storm is heading our way. Also tonight, new treatments for an aggressive form of brain cancer being tested here in Arizona. And we'll hear about an internship that requires checking out the wares at a local farmer's market. Those stories and more coming up on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible with the support of Arizona Highways Magazine, Escape, Explore, Experience, and by APS, working 24/7 to keep Arizona on, and by the contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The Arizona Republican Party is calling on State Representative David Stringer to resign after Stringer recently commented that immigration posed an existential threat. Stringer also expressed concern that there, quote, aren't enough white kids in public schools. GOP Chairman Jonathan Lyons said in a statement, in light of today's reports detailing Representative David Stringer's comments, I am calling on him to resign immediately. These words have no place in our party or in our state. Governor Doug Ducey's office tweeted that the governor supports the call for Representative Stringer's resignation. As for Stringer, he posted a statement on Facebook claiming that his opponents had distorted his message. Said Stringer, my comments about school integration were factually accurate and were intended to illustrate the challenges facing successful integration when white students are a rapidly declining percentage of the whole. Stringer went on to say that he was not afraid of, quote, conservative bigwigs or liberal bullies. Well, Arizona could finally see some rain as Tropical Storm Bud moves across Baja California and northern Mexico. The potential storms come as the monsoon officially begins tomorrow. Now, does this early storm mean that we could have a wetter than normal monsoon season? ASU climatologist Randy Cerveny is here to fill us in. Good to see you again.
Good to
be
here.
It's that time of year we always talk about monsoon because it's,
Exactly.
I mean, officially it seems awfully early, though, to be saying it's monsoon time.
It actually is. When we first came up with this idea of setting a set date, having June 15th be the start of the monsoon, it was several weeks before we normally get thunderstorms in the valley. So it was time for people to be able to talk about safety and what you should do during the monsoon. This is very rare to actually have the thunderstorm starting on the true first day of the monsoon.
But it's not really a monsoon storm, is it?
Well, the moisture is coming up from the south, and that technically is what we would